Yeah, if you're also tired of constantly feeding most of your bird food to the squirrels instead of the birds, then I have some awesome news. And that's this TITTO Squirrel-Proof full metal cage bird feeder with AI detecting camera, with active motion detection, notification, live streaming, as even a solar power option. And I mean, I've seen already a lot of so-called squirrel-proof bird feeders, but at least for me they have never worked. But here we have one which we can already see that there is actually no way that squirrels can get into. Maybe they can grab some food from outside, but they definitely cannot get into the bird feeder. But of course we don't have to use the metal cage, we can also remove that if you want to feed some squirrels or other animals. And so let's see how this works. By the way, the metal cage is screwed to the housing, so if you want to remove the metal cage you need a screwdriver, but it's only 4 screws as far as I can see, and for everything else we can just slide the roof to the front. And so let's get the accessories and do the assembly. So we have already some stuff here in the back just by sliding the roof to the front. But as far as I can see, for the rest, for example for the solar panel, we have to unscrew the metal cage. But again, it's just 4 screws. And so like that, we can also see how this would work without this metal cage. And so here we have now everything. Super solid full metal bracket. If you want to mount it, for example, to a 3-wall fence or so, we have also this attachment down here to mount it on top of a post, or we just use these 2 straps here through this opening, slide it through here and wrap it around a large post or tree. I guess the solar panel is here inside, also the antenna, even a power supply for the first charge. That's super luxury USB-A to USB-C power cable, more mounting material, and the solar panel with a standard 1/4-inch tripod mount, long USB cable, standard USB plug, everything what I really like. And so when we hold it like that, now you can see the camera. Of course, need to remove the sticker. Now for the installation, we have to remove the camera. So we need to remove the screws here in the back, just 2 of them. Then we can remove this back plate where the camera is attached. We have the opening here with the on-off reset and an opening for a microSD card. MicroSD card is not included, but highly recommended. Always make sure that you're using a good quality, at least class 10 microSD card. Pins seem to go to the back of the camera. Push it fully inside. Now you could use charger and cable also to give a full charge to the camera. So like that, thanks to the included large battery, you can also use it without the solar panel if you don't have a suitable location for the solar panel. And so it's using the very well known Wyco Home Smart Home Camera app. I've been using it already for dozens of cameras and bird feeders, and it has been working usually very good. Definitely one of my preferred camera apps. And so now of course to connect we have to long press here till we hear something or see a light here in the front blinking. Okay, that indicates that it's ready to be connected. So we click on the right top on the plus, add new device, confirm that we heard the sound. Next step, searching for close devices. Of course I have to blur this information because of the serial number. Now here we have to select the Wi-Fi which we want to use and provide a password. And also make sure that you're already connected to the exact same Wi-Fi network with this phone which you're using to connect. Okay, that's nice. Super easy. First attempt successful. Yeah, after a connection is established, you can use any kind of internet connection from anywhere in the world. And so we have it here now on the top. And now we have it here ready. Asks already for a firmware upgrade. So looks like they definitely care about their products with the latest firmware upgrades. And so now while it's upgrading the firmware, we can put the camera back here into the housing. So we close the lid, but leave this inner opening open for the power cable, which we find here inside. So we connect this here. Just make sure that it's really fully pushed here inside. Has of course a little bit of resistance because of the waterproof seal. So looks good to me. So let's push it back here inside. Of course we need to secure the back plate again with these screws. Also time to add the antenna now. Can nicely point it up here for optimal reception. Plug from the solar panel will be connected here in the back. Nicely waterproof. Opening for the bird food to the front, exactly how it should be. So we don't have to uninstall the bird feeder just for adding the bird food. And so I'm going to install this bracket here to the wall and then adding the bird feeder on top and securing with these two screws from underneath. And so I've installed the bird feeder outside. It was super easy, exactly as expected, thanks to the super solid construction and the bracket. And so I have the bird feeder now here in the overview with already some information, for example, notifications and a lot of functions for all the cameras or bird feeders which I have. For example, some bird overview here, the whole library, what has been going on. But best thing is, of course, when we are going directly to the dedicated bird feeder view. And so I'm clicking here. And so we can see the live view here. We have already some functions. For example, we can activate the sound. We can even emit an audible alarm when we see some animals which we don't like there. And much more functions. We can even use this button here to talk to people or to the animals if you like. And as you can see here in the live view, I've removed the cage here. And the reason is because there were no small birds here. I've already been assuming that because I've never seen smaller birds on other bird feeders. But here we have the proof because only smaller birds could go really into this bird feeder. So at least at this time of the year we don't have any smaller birds. So I've decided to use this at least at the moment as a normal bird feeder. This has also the advantage that we can see everything around nice and clear. We can see it has a very wide view and the focus of the camera is exactly where it should be. So you can see everything in the background a little bit blurred, but here everything which is close, that's laser sharp. That's exactly how it should be. Everything looks really good. And so of course here we want to see what has been going on. We click and then we have the overview what has been going on here. Here that's in the cloud. There is some free cloud included in the camera, but of course it's limited also for a limited time. And then after that you need subscription, but of course you can also use the micro SD card. Can see that here we can confirm and then it will show exactly same thing from the micro SD card without having to use a paid subscription. But of course from the cloud it's a little bit faster, so I'm going to use the cloud here for this video. And so it has started recording when I've been installing the bird feeder. And so I've added some food inside of the container and also out in the tray. And so it didn't take too long till the squirrels noticed that and started going nuts and tried everything to grab all the peanuts, at least the ones out there in the tray. They really tried everything to get into the bird feeder. But not only squirrels, but also larger birds started showing up. And also they have been successful to grab the peanuts from the outside. Of course, they are really smart. For example, also this blue jay found out how this works to grab the food from the outside. Watch here. Squirrel here also trying from the side successfully. The waiting time to load from the microSD card can be a little bit longer than from the cloud, but the quality of the video is also better. We can see that already here in the microSD card overview. By the way, we can easily download everything, choose any video in the detail view and then click on download, and then it will download the video file directly to your phone from where you can share it. I would say a really nice, good quality video here from the microSD card, no doubt about that. And so again, because no smaller birds have been showing, I've decided to remove the cage temporarily till I see some smaller birds to make it easier for the larger birds and the squirrels to grab the peanuts. So we really have both options. That's an awesome thing. If you have smaller birds, you can protect them or their food easily with the cage. If you have only larger birds or squirrels, then you can remove the cage. I also think that the grid size is perfect. And so I've never seen any animal stuck in the cage. That was also some fear which I had at the beginning, that some of the larger birds or squirrels would try to get in and then get stuck. That has never happened. That's definitely awesome. Of course, I also want to show you the settings here quickly, especially here this area with the motion detection. We have 3 different levels of detection sensitivity, low, medium and high. We can adjust the recording duration for the cloud and for the micro SD card, or even activate cooldown periods if you have too many false alerts or so, sleep settings, scheduled recording. You also have notification settings, but of course that only works when you have a paid subscription. For example, for the bird fans, then you get specific notifications for the birds. We can have activity zones and really adjust what we want to see in the notification. If we want to see pets, person, vehicles, and other things. Alarm settings, so we could automatically trigger audible alarms and flashlight alarms from this camera. And then the video settings, of course, make sure that you're using 2K and not only SD. And more settings here, for example, also the options to have either colorful night mode recording or just black and white. Of course, in the color mode, the camera will then emit a white light. And because probably animals wouldn't like that, I'm going with the black and white. And so it's only using infrared, which animals can't see. Here we have also direct access to the micro SD card video, SD card management, but usually there's nothing to do. It will overwrite automatically the oldest footage as soon as the micro SD card is full, but it can take quite some time. So even a 32 gigabytes micro SD card can last for many weeks. Indicator light, of course, you want to turn it off so animals won't be disturbed during the night. Other power settings, audio settings, we can share the camera with other users. So there are so many things and everything has been working really good, super stable till now. Absolutely no problems so far. And even though I'm pretty far away from the router here and the Wi-Fi signal says only medium reception, I always had very stable connection. You can see also the time here counting on the top. Now we get a visitor. It's asking to switch resolution, but I think there's no need here in this case because it's really super stable. Absolutely no problem. And as you have seen, yeah, definitely works easily without the cage. Makes it easier for the birds and the squirrels to grab the food, and still absolutely awesome. So we have really both options here. You can decide how you want to use it. Absolutely perfect. And with the Wyco Home, this very reliable app here, it makes a lot of fun to use it. The function I like the most is that you can swipe through all the different footages. You can see easily from one video to the next one or back. That's a function which I've never seen with any other bird feeder. So convenient without having to go back to the overview. Another awesome thing, when you're subscribed to premium services and you get too many false alerts, you get this filter here in the cloud option. So we can click here, then go down and, for example, select only bird videos, click on save. And now from these more than 100 videos, I can only see the ones where birds are showing up. Yeah, definitely a very interesting bird feeder. Maybe didn't work in my case directly as expected because of the missing small birds, but I have no doubt about that. This would definitely work if you have smaller birds, but of course, as you have seen, works also either through the metal cage or without the cage for larger birds and the squirrels. So really nothing to complain at the moment. And so if you're interested, I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description so you can check it out and order one for you if you like. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments or want to share your own experience with this TITTO bird feeder, then just let us know down in the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.